How about now? All right. I did a presentation not too long ago for Berkshire Hathaway, and none of my slides worked. So I had to be on stage for an hour and a half and completely wing it. And I thought that was going to happen here again today. So it did not. Two quick things before we get started. One, thank you for wanting to be here. When I pitched the idea of this class, I didn't know how it would go over. And this is the highest requested class of the day. So thank you for all of that. It has started a lot of conversations in hallways here today, emails, phone calls. Today is going to be a very brief overview. I only have 30 minutes to work with, and we are going to breeze through some of this just to get you thinking. But there is talks of maybe coming out to your parishes and actually looking at your buildings and walking through with you. And I can answer hypotheticals here today, but till we're on the property and we're there, it's very hard for me to answer those direct questions, okay? All right, the other thing is some of this information might upset somebody. There's nothing graphic, there's nothing gory in this presentation, but it may upset somebody or bring up some feelings if it is disturbing. And at any point that you want to get up and leave, you will not hurt my feelings, okay? If you do feel you need to do that, come find one of the staff, either myself or somebody else here, if you feel you need to talk to somebody, okay? We're all good with that? Everybody's got it? That doesn't mean you can just get up and leave on me, though. They put me after lunch, and they put me after the bishop. Man, I'll tell you. 2 bishops, exactly. All right, so if anybody here doesn't know me, quickly, my name is Timothy Wagner. I have been a police officer in Lehigh County since 1997. I've been a police detective from 2007 to 2021 when I retired from my first career, and I was retired 2 weeks before I went back. Most of my time as a detective, I was a vice detective. So I did gang work and major crime work. I am a certified hostage negotiator for the FBI currently. Hostage negotiator, I think they think it sounds cool. That's not what we do. We're crisis negotiators more than anything else. So I am part of the SWAT team that goes out on barricaded people, armed people, and we negotiate for a safe outcome in that situation. It's one of my favorite jobs of my whole career of being a cop, almost 30 years. I absolutely love that job. I am a certified firearms instructor for the Pennsylvania State Police and have been for years. And I have been your Safe Church consultant since August of 2023. So many of you in here know me from my other classes. Just quickly, though these moments we're going to talk about, what we're going to talk about are the darkest moments. Communicating, talking, thinking, and getting these ideas out and us standing together is what's going to win this. We all come from different backgrounds, different ideas. As long as we can communicate and want the best for each other, we'll all succeed. All right, an active shooter. Definition of an active shooter. Individual actively engaging in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined and populated area. The key word is active. This is an active situation. This is an ongoing situation without much rhyme or reason to it. And that is the definition from the government on active shooter. So what we teach is a very, very simple idea. And we're going to go through the 3 steps of that idea now. First one is run. If you hear something happening in this building, don't get out your phone to take a video. Don't ask somebody else what's going on. Get out. The further you can get, the furthest you can get away from this situation. When you do so, don't have anything in your hands. No black cell phones, nothing else when you're running out, because you're going to be coming towards policemen. And we don't know who the bad guy is, okay? So nothing in your hands. Leave your purses, leave your laptops, leave your stuff behind. Get out. Your other stuff doesn't matter, okay? Again, and I'm going to hit a lot on this, keep your hands visible to law enforcement. And I'm going to show you a video clip in a little while what this is like from our perspective as we're coming in to the building. Take other people with you, but don't stay behind if they won't leave. I know that sounds cruel. I know that sounds horrible. Try to gather up who you can, but if somebody freezes and they refuse to leave, don't stay behind. You have one goal and one goal only, and that is to get out. Okay? When you get someplace safe, call 911. Don't think that somebody else has already called. Make sure you make that call. On the flip side of that, each one of us, if I had somebody run through this room right now, would have a different description of that person. It's the way the human mind works. It's what we see and what we get. You may have a piece of information that hasn't been told to 911 that's updating the officers on the way in. So call, make that call. Don't think, well, somebody else already called. So once you're safe and you're in a safe place, go ahead and call 911. Let them know how many shooters there are, where you last saw them, what kind of weapons did they have. Any information that you can give to those dispatchers to give to us is going to help us, okay? Number 2 is going to be hide. If you cannot get to an exit and you cannot get away, find a place to hide. An office building with offices in it, your church that has a vestry area or a meeting area, find some place to hide. When you're in there, try to choose a place with thicker walls. We're going to go over cover and concealment in a few minutes. But you want to try to find a brick wall, a concrete wall, or something like that. Drywall does not obviously stop bullets. So look for a thicker wall to hide behind in that room. Lock the doors and barricade it with furniture. So lock that door up, get a table in front of it, a file cabinet in front of it, anything you can find to barricade that door as strongly as possible. Turn off the lights and keep quiet. Silence your phones and your other stuff. If this person is walking around the building looking for victims and your phone goes off or something else happens in that room, you're going to draw attention to yourself. This is the ultimate game of hide and seek, right? We're going to be as quiet as we can be and keep the people with you quiet also. And close the windows and shades, especially if there's a glass panel inside of that doorway to the office or wherever you're hiding. Try to get that blocked, that visibility blocked. If you're outdoors, and this has happened in our society at different concerts and venues and things like that, if you're outdoors and this incident happens and you have to hide, find a tree, a large tree. Vehicles are great, but hide behind the engine block, not behind the trunk of the car. And if you're going to pick a vehicle, pick something like my diesel pickup truck out there and hide behind that engine. It's going to be much more bullet resistant than a Toyota Prius. Okay? Last scenario is fight. This is where we don't want to wind up here in this situation, but it can happen. So find weapons inside of this room. And the number one weapon you're probably going to be able to find very easily is a fire extinguisher. Fire extinguishers are very heavy and they're metal. If you hit somebody with them, it's going to hurt. The other side of a fire extinguisher, especially if it's a halon extinguisher or an ABC extinguisher, if you spray somebody in the face with that, it is going to affect their breathing, it is going to affect their eyes, and it is going to disorient them. And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to disorient this person, disarm them if possible, and get away. What we are not taught, you are not taught, is physical aggression. Some of us in this room are military. Some of us are retired police officers. We've lived through these experiences. Most of you have never been in a fist fight, I would assume. This is your moment where you're going to have to be aggressive. With every piece of strength you have, you're going to have to fight. The FBI teaches to throw things at people. I don't think it's a great idea. You're going to be under stress. You're going to not be thinking correctly, and I almost guarantee you're going to miss. But it's going to be distracting to the person. So even if you miss, it may be an option. Probably not the best option. I think your best option is a fire extinguisher. Call 911 when it's safe to do so. Same as always. All right. Where are my retired cops and military guys at? What's the difference between cover and concealment? Anybody want to speak up? Opposite way around. But you're good. Yep. So cover and concealment, what we use in my line of work, you're going to be hiding either way. Okay? Cover is bullet resistant. Something that's going to slow bullets down. Concealment, you're going to be hiding, but it's not bullet resistant. Okay? So, a few examples here. Oh, and I put it up already. All right, so brick walls. Exactly. Brick walls are going to be cover. They're going to be bullet resistant. Okay? If you can find a brick wall, Hollywood block wall, things like that, that's something you want to hide behind. File cabinet. Cover or concealment. Is a file cabinet bullet resistant? Okay, anybody else? Okay. This is a trick question. In most of your offices, you're going to have fireproof or fire-resistant file cabinets. If they are fire-resistant file cabinets, they're filled with concrete. Okay? If it's the $29.99 Staples aluminum, it's not going to be concealment. So look around. Think about this, unfortunately. If you're in the offices, in a parish office, go walk by and look at your file cabinet. It'll say on it if it's fire resistant. If it is, it's filled with concrete. The walls are being filled in concrete. Get that in front of your door. You're a lot better off than the $29 Staples one. Okay? So that was a trick one. Drywall. Concealment. Not going to slow a bullet down. Dividers in cubicles. I know it's kind of low there. So your divider wall is cubicles? Correct. It's not going to slow a bullet down. All right. I'm going to very briefly go over the Nashville shooting. Okay? Very briefly, but I want to give you some ideas and some things to think about. First 911 call on the Nashville shooting was placed at 10:13 a.m. was the first call that came in. First officer on scene is 10:27 a.m. 14 minutes. Nashville Metro Police Department has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of policemen, and it took them 14 minutes. 14 minutes in our world we consider to be a good response time. How many of you all in your communities have hundreds of police officers on your police force? None of you. None of you. You might have state police that has one guy on duty. You may have a small town department that has one guy on duty. And state police, they could be 20, 30 miles away. So I want you to think about this. You're going to be stuck in this situation for a while till we come. We are going to get there, and we are going to come as fast as we can. Just be prepared. If Nashville Metro took 14 minutes, I can only imagine what our communities would take. Okay? Let's talk about the shooter for a little bit here. This shooter had a very well-detailed plan on what they planned on doing. The shooter had done surveillance. The shooter had checked out the building, routines, who was coming and going, and what times people were and were not in the front office of the building. The shooter was also a past student at this school. So the shooter knows the layout. She knows where the rooms are, the hallways, the break rooms, where people are, what offices are where. The shooter knew a lot better the layout of that building than those police officers did, because I guarantee none of them had ever been in there before. The shooter was not targeting a specific person, which I found interesting. This was not a grievance over something that had happened in the past while the shooter went to school there. The shooter picked out this target after checking out two So the shooter was doing surveillance on 2 different areas. And the only reason the shooter picked this building because the routines were so set in stone. They knew who would be where, when, and how. The other building had people out in the parking lots, not uniformed security, just random teachers, employees walking the parking lot at random times. So there was an idea that the shooter may get caught before they got into the building. So something as simple as one of your ushers or one of your people welcoming people on a Sunday service, taking a walk through the parking lot randomly, as dumb as that sounds, is the reason the other building wasn't hit. It's a very simple thing that we could all do. So, locked entry doors. How many of you guys lock your doors during services? I know I'm going to have a varied response. You do? Anybody else? Nope. Going to? Okay. And again, this is I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just asking what you do. You lock yours? Okay. You used to, but you don't now? Okay. Maybe you will in a second. So, the shooter knew from trial and error of going to the front door that that door would be locked. Already, the shooter knew this. How long do you think it takes the shooter to get in the building? Was it better to have the door locked or unlocked? What do you guys think? Locked. Locked? Okay. Why? Why do you think it's better to be locked? Correct. Everybody knows this is coming. The fire alarm started going off because of the smoke in the air. The glass is getting broken. Everybody on the far side of the building knows something's coming. If that door was unlocked, the shooter has the element of surprise. Right? We at least are aware now of what's coming. Okay? I'm going to give you a little perspective of what it's like from our point of view. This is about as close as I can get you without putting you there. And then we're going to talk about it afterwards.
I think it's upstairs. It sounds like it's upstairs. Go. Push the LPV up. Push the LPV up. Reloading.
Like, get anybody a little bit upset? Get your blood pressure going a little bit? Okay. When we respond to these calls, we don't know who is who. Our adrenaline is just as high as yours is. We're human beings, the same as you are. When you see an officer coming in, I've already told you, make sure your hands are empty, your hands are up, right? Unfortunately, we do these trainings, and in real life when this happens, people grab onto us. We're coming through that door, they hear these shots going off, they see what's going on, they see a policeman, and they're grabbing us, grabbing our belts, grabbing our pants, because they want us to protect them. We've got to keep moving. Keep your hands up and keep moving the opposite direction, okay? Keep doing that. And one of the most important things, if you are in a situation where you're hiding, you got into an office, you barricaded that door, you're inside, you see us come through, do not come out behind us. Don't think, great, the cops are here, you open the door, and now you come out, and now we have 3 people behind us when we're moving down the hallway, okay? Stay in the room, stay quiet, stay safe. We will come back, but we're going to take the threat first, and then we'll come back, okay? So don't think, all right, cops are here, I'm running out the other door. Just stay where you are. If you're already locked down, you're already safe, stay where you're at. We will come back. If you are injured and you're down, we are not going to stop. I know that may sound heartless, but we have one job to do at this moment. There are people coming behind us. They will take care of the injured. After we deal with what we have to deal with, we will come back and help take care of injured people. But when you watch it on the news or you see it somewhere and these cops are walking past these injured people, we're not doing it because we're heartless. We have a job that we have to go do, okay?
Hi, can I get you started with drinks?
Oh, sorry, I gotta take this.
We'll need a minute.
Stairs. No, I'm here. You hear me? Stop.
Now you need to back up. You can't be here anymore. Get out of my face, what, man. You think I'm afraid of you? Get off, man.
911, there's a clip.
Running makes you harder to hit and improves your chances of survival. Don't go up here.
Police, where is he?
By the bar, blue jeans, black shirt. Empty hands up, follow their instructions.
I'm in the direct line of fire if I head for either exit, but I have other options to help me survive. Guys, come on, in here. Come on. Go, go, go. Lock and barricade the door.
Both my exits are blocked by the shooter. I gotta stay hidden. I'm no victim. I'm ready for this.
He's applying direct pressure to the wound to stop the bleeding until we can find a tourniquet. In the meantime, turn off your phones and make a plan to defend yourself.
We have to fight to survive. If you control the weapon, you control the shooter. I'll go for the gun. He'll go for his arms. The bartender will go for the head.
Where is he?
We got him right here. Stand
Please,
up.
show me your hands!
Over here.
You can survive a mass shooting if you're prepared. Remember, run, hide, or fight. Run. Wherever you go, be aware of alternate exits. Quickly and cautiously evacuate in a direction away from the attacker. Don't hesitate. Seconds matter. Remember windows and emergency exits. Leave belongings behind. Keep your empty hands raised and clearly visible when exiting a building. Follow all instructions from the police. Don't stop until you're sure you've reached a safe location. Hide. If there is no safe escape route, find a good hiding place. Lock and barricade the door. Silence cell phones. Prepare a defense plan. Fight. Fight only as a last resort. Use available objects as improvised weapons. Use teamwork and surprise. A coordinated ambush can incapacitate an attacker. You're fighting for your life. Don't fight fair. Stop the bleed. A victim can die of uncontrolled blood loss in 5 minutes or less. Apply pressure or a tourniquet to control severe bleeding. Go to fbi.gov/survive to learn more.
All right. Question and answers. Anybody? Got? I can. Sure. It's not. Yep. It's not. That's a good question because sometimes I get caught up in my own terms because that's what I do every day. It's like sometimes you guys have terms that I don't understand. So people look at me in my vest, they say it's a bulletproof vest. It is not a bulletproof vest. It is bullet resistant. So depending on what weapon the shooter has or what they're doing is going to have different results to what you're hiding behind. That's why I try to tell you like a brick wall, the engine block of a car. They'll stop many rifle rounds. A handgun, it'll absolutely stop. But it'll only stop it under so many hits. If it continuously gets hit at a brick wall, it's going to wear down. So bullet resistant is what we're looking for and what you're going to find. You will not find anything bulletproof. Anybody else? Good. Yep. Questions? Yep, go ahead. Sure. A solid wood pew is going to slow a bullet down considerably, especially a handgun bullet. If you're 2-3 deep, it's probably not going to get to you. I don't know that I'd want to test that theory, but your thinking is correct. But the more you can put between you, the better off you are, especially solid wood. If you have a solid wood pew, it's going to take some damage. The other thing you have to worry about is shrapnel. As that bullet's going through and it starts getting through that wood is going to splinter and it's going to explode. I'd rather get hit with that than the bullet, but just think about what you're hiding behind. Like glass and wood and things like that. It is going to have shrapnel. It's going to explode and it's going to come out at you. Go ahead. I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. All right. Here's what I'm going to tell you. First of all, it's none of my business. Okay? If we have a group of retired police officers, active duty police officers, military people, all right? If we have somebody that went to the courthouse a day ago and got a permit and now they're carrying a gun that they've never trained with, you're inserting a firearm into a situation it shouldn't be inserted to. Okay? I can't stop it. I can't tell people not to do it. I think those are conversations we have to have on a parish level, that if people are going to do that, we should probably know who has them, what their training is and what their ability is, and then come up with a plan. Because if they're going to be there anyway and they're going to have it, and it is a retired police officer, military person, somebody that has some training, we might as well talk about it. Where are you going to go to? Who's going where? I think communication, having a conversation gets us a lot further than not. I am not saying you should or you should not, to be clear. Okay? I know it happens though, and I think it happens more than people realize. Anybody else? Go ahead. No. Yeah, keep moving. So if her question was if you're in an open field or an open area like we're in right now, and somebody comes in shooting and you're going to run, you're exactly right. Run, zigzag. We're moving, right? Did we all watch the videos years ago when there was a sniper at the gas pumps? Virginia, right? Remember? Nobody in that town would get gas without going like this the whole time, right? We all saw it on video. Absolutely correct. Don't go in a straight line. Just keep moving, hide behind things, run behind that wall, jump over to the other table. You know, don't go in a straight line of fire. Anybody else? Good?
Maybe for most of us, our doors are open.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Sure, and that is your first line of defense, is those ushers and those greeters. If you're going to keep your doors open, please just keep one unlocked, first of all. Let's not keep the back door that goes to the alley unlocked. Let's limit our access point to at least one to watch. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Most of us know when something's not right. You ever been in that situation? You're walking somewhere in the middle of the night, you're going somewhere, you've got that spidey sense, something's just not right. Call 911. I would rather you call the police and say, hey, I got this guy out here in the parking lot. Something's not right. Don't know what it is. I can't tell you. Call him. That's what we get paid for. Let him come check the guy out. Even if the guy was scoping the place out, say he's doing surveillance on it, and the cops come, he ain't coming back because he knows that you're watching. Let us do our jobs. Don't call us once something bad happens. Let us go and check the guy out, run the plate, get his ID, figure out who he is, what his story is, why is he there. You know, don't be scared to call us. That's what we're here for. And you may stop a tragedy. Had someone called the police on our shooter in Nashville, I guarantee she wouldn't have come back. Anybody? Anybody else? In the back, go ahead. I got 2 minutes. Wow. Hey, I kept on time, so I need an award from either Paula or Steve. Even with my 10-minute delay on the video, that wouldn't work. I still kept it on time. So anyway, before I go off, if you would like me to come out and you'd like to have this conversation on a local level, gladly email me, call me. We can have that conversation. I can come out. Some people have asked if I do trainings, and I do. I don't know that it's a great idea as far as having an actual drill. We would have to seriously consider that because it is very hard on people when we do that. So, but yes, I can come out. I can bring my guys with me. We can check your doors. We can look for camera angles, things like that as a group at your local place. Okay. Absolutely. Make friends with your police department. Absolutely. Get them through your buildings. Invite them in for coffee. Cops love coffee and donuts. Invite them in. Invite them in on Sunday morning. They get the layout of the building. They get to know the faces. They know who belongs. They know the vehicles in the lot. If they become your friend, they're going to know a lot better what's going on. If we're going to that building, we've never been there, it slows us down. So yeah, absolutely. Make friends with your cops. Call them in. Free donuts, you'll get us. Go ahead. You can walk in a parking lot and be close to the door. If somebody can visibly see somebody at different times walking by the door, outside, it breaks up your rhythm. When we get into patterns, it's very easy for someone to know when they can come in. It's very easy to say, all right, between 9 and 10, 0 people come through this door. If there's somebody randomly walking at different times, it makes it harder. So what we're talking about, to not get too deep into it, because I probably have about 2 seconds left, we're talking about a soft target and a hard target. The more secure you can make yourselves and the less open you are, you're becoming a harder target. That does not mean you need people walking around in security uniforms. There's things we can do to make people think twice about coming in and still be open and welcoming to our people. Go ahead. You have something? Huh? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know what their mind is, but I know if they're doing surveillance and they know between this time and this time, no one walks past that door, it's an opportunity. If an usher randomly walks every 20 minutes, even out the door to the parking lot, whatever, makes a phone call, it breaks up the routine. And routine is what you don't want because it gives an opening in time. There's no resistance. Anything else? No? Go ahead. All right, I'm getting yelled at. Go ahead, last one, go ahead. Mm-hmm. I do. And I know it costs money, and I get that. But technology has gotten to the point now with cameras and things that you can very easily, for less than a couple $100s, put up wireless cameras, at least in your parking lot, main entrance, and things like that, that if you see a vehicle coming in that's acting strange or a vehicle you don't know, at least you have eyes on it. And then to get out of the car and you see something else, call. But yeah, it's very cheap now to put cameras up. Very, very cheap. So, all right, thank you all. I appreciate it. Yep.